Guys, Django here, and welcome back to my Prominence II RPG series. I am standing on top of a meteorite, and that means one thing. Actually, it means maybe two things in this pack because there's also Ad Astra. But this is an Applied Energistics meteorite, and we're going to attempt the fastest possible start in Applied Energistics 2. So if you're like, I don't like AE2, stick with me. It's game-changing, and it's really not that complicated. And it's raining. Also, I have a crazy idea, which is to move this entire meteorite over to my base, because what's inside it will form the center of our AE2 build. So that's going to be pretty cool too. Stick around. Let's talk about this for a second. We're going to make a create contraption out of that meteorite, a minecart contraption, which means we can just pick it up. But I'm thinking I want to see this thing roll down a track to the base, and it's not really that far in this direction. So if I make a track, whoa, it's this cave. That's pretty neat. Don't get distracted. See, the base is just right here. So if we make a train track that goes from the meteorite over here, we can drop the meteorite right into the base at the spot we want to build around it. And I've got some really cool ideas for this meteorite. I'm actually not entirely going to say them out loud because that's committing, and I have commitment issues when it comes to building projects. But I think this seems like a pretty good spot right here. Like if we drop the meteorite right in this spot, it's kind of like it landed here. We'll build around it. And I have some cool ideas on how we're going to get to the inside of it. Take a look here. Last time we beat the dragon. Here it is right here. And you know what we get from that? Elytra. And another egg, which is amazing. So we have 2 eggs. And I believe we need an egg for this. Yeah, we need an egg for this very last boss in this quest line. So save an egg. There are things you can do with eggs. So don't use them both up. You make a backpack. A dragon traveler's backpack. Gives you strength and regen. You'll be invincible. Okay, that's a pretty cool backpack. Should I do it? I don't see why not. All right. Let's put this one down. Put this one on. And we can just hang this one on the wall here. Like the mud room where the kids come home from school. Look at that. What an epic backpack. I do like the sounds of being invincible. We do need to enchant our Elytra. Unbreaking 3 seems good. Go back and get a mending book. And let's put mending on our Elytra. Now, unfortunately, I don't think we can put the Elytra in any slots, so we have to live without our chest plate, make some rockets. And I'm also not sure if there's some better propulsion solutions in this pack, but let's give our Elytra a try. All right, a little base flyover. That'll make things a little easier. There are all kinds of things we can do with the Elytra. So Soul Elytra gives us armor. This whole Icarus mod that's in here gives all kinds of different wings. We can do all kinds of different things. I don't know what all these different wings do. I need to do some research there. This one, the Angel Ring, I wonder if that gives creative flight. That's from the Kibi mod. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do and what the Icarus mod is all about. Oh, I just noticed that the Angel Ring is disabled in this pack. So creative flight from the Kibi mod is out. Looks like a lot of things from this mod has been disabled. Although there's some pretty cool stuff. Some gliders, heaters to melt snow and ice. Oh, that would have been good in the other base. Cobblestone generators, fluid hoppers, trash cans. Okay, we'll have to keep those things in mind. All right, let's get this meteorite moved. We want it to go right here, I think. It's like in the center of this little dirt crater. I'm using these copper rails from Oxidize because they're, the way I understand it, they actually power more over longer distances and they're cheaper. Just run a rail all the way over to that meteorite. You know, sometimes vanilla is just the right way to do things. Find this guy again a third time. He gives us something. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, we've got the whole track powered with powered rails. Let's see if this makes it the entire way. I think it will. Here it is. Okay, now to enclose this entire thing in glue, I think I want to put a glass frame around this thing. Now we've got this framed in a glass shape. This is why it makes it easy, because we can just get these two corners here. Now we can put the assembler on that. Okay, minecart under there. There it goes. Here comes the Meteorite Express. Can I land on this? Let's see. Here we go. All right, let's get out of here before the creepers blow it up. There's our meteorite. Here's where the meteorite came from. This is really cool. Now the meteorite is still a contraption. Get under there and turn it back into its blocks. Here's the crazy idea that I had, which is I want to split this thing open using Create and like make it into a display piece, as well as getting to the guts of this, which is the budding crystal Certus quartz blocks. Let's crack this thing open. Now, what I have in mind may not work out in practice. Just like we did in the mine shaft, put a rope pulley up above it, drop it down on top, and it's going to lift the cover right off of this thing. The way this is configured on the inside, there's a 3x3 layer of Certus quartz blocks. So I think I want to clear this first of all. I think the whole thing is now cleared out, right? Yeah. So if I click here and here and here, I'm trying to get like the upper shell here, like that, here. So we can see that there's this 3x3 section is not selected on the inside, I don't think. Okay, let's put I've got all the things here. I'm gonna put a rope pulley up top, and it's raining. Let's sleep. Okay, so right in the center here, lift this cap right off the top. I have some more sky block. Let's kind of fix the top of this thing. And I don't know how high I want to pull this thing up. 4 blocks? I was like, that might work. All right, get rid of these. And let's run shaft out this way. I have no idea if this is going to work. And what we're going to do is drop the pulley down onto the top, and it should pick up the top part of the meteor. I'm hoping. Okay, it's going down. Okay, I don't know if I went down far enough. Oh, I didn't glue the top. So we also need to get the entire top section. There, the top, 2 down, like that. Okay, let's get this thing glued in here. Oh, perfect. That is exactly what I was going for. Awesome. We can move it up and down. Amazing. Okay, let's see what we've got. What we're looking for is flawless budding Certus quartz. So chipped, damaged, plain, chipped, damaged. Come on, give me a flawless. It's a flawless. Awesome. So the way these work, all of these budding Certus quartz blocks produce clusters, but they degrade over time. But the flawless never degrades. If we break the cluster when it's too small, like this, it gives us dust. The full one gives us Certus quartz crystals. And you can break these blocks with Silk Touch, but if you break a flawless one, it will become damaged and will become one of these degrading ones. So this is why I wanted to move this. So I have a flawless budding Certus quartz right here in the middle of my Applied Energistics 2 build. It's not the end of the world if you don't get a flawless one, because you can repair the damaged or chipped crystals in water. So we hold G over any of the AE2 items, we get the guide. And you can see, so as you use these blocks and get crystals from them, they will degrade, and you can throw them in water with a charged Sturris quartz crystal and repair them, essentially. However, with the flawless one, it will never degrade on us. We can automate that stuff later and everything. So let's grab some of these. Oh, did I use my mining one? I did. And fortune. So what did we get? 27 Sturris quartz crystals. And don't come near here with a mining pickaxe. That was scary. And this mysterious cube has all of our inscribers on it. And there we go. We have 4 presses. They're called presses, not inscribers. The inscriber is the machine you put them in. Calculation press, silicon press, logic press, and engineering press. And you make, for example, a printed logic circuit in an inscriber with gold, and you get a printed logic circuit. And then you put the logic circuit in with a printed silicon with redstone in an inscriber, and you get a logic processor. And these processors are the basis for lots of things in Applied Energistics 2. So we're going to be making a ton of these things, and we're going to be ultimately automating them. Okay, mobs are a problem, so we're going to put a diamond magnum torch, which should keep the mobs away. There's our glass-free meteorite. And I just discovered that we have a second flawless budding Sturris quartz in here, which is amazing. Okay, so we can break this one. We can break this one. Probably break these other ones too, but we won't for now. These other budding ones will still produce some Sturris quartz for us. First thing we want to do is get more Sturris quartz. So let's make an accelerator, growth accelerator. We need Fluix block. And for Fluix, we need Fluix crystal. Oh, wow, we can automate Fluix crystals with create. But the standard way of making Fluix crystal is to drop charged Sturris quartz crystal, redstone dust, and nether quartz into some water, and we'll get Fluix crystals. And for the charged Sturris quartz crystal, we need a charger, which is right here, and that's easy to make. All right, and here's a charger. There's a quest line for this. Take a look in here. Applied Energistics 2. Hey, we get a wooden crank from that. Nice. Which is what I was going to make next. Before we proceed too much more, I want to build the floor on this base. So let's make a quick floor, and then I'll be right back. All right, I have a floor down here now. This is looking a little nicer. I'm using some polished blackstone. I think that's going to look good against all the very colorful, bright Applied Energistics 2. So I think this will make a pretty cool AE2 base. Now downstairs, a couple ways down, I made it so you can get to the bottom of these this meteorite, so we can bring power up there for an accelerator. I'm going to charge that up, but we have some things to do first. There's a stairway down there. I also made a sneaky little entrance right here in this well, and we have a basement. That's coming all the way from the water wheels. Some rotational power, which I'm running upstairs, and I added this alternator, which is from the Create Crafts and Additions mod. It basically turns rotational force into FEs. I'm stealing a lot of rotational force from those water wheels. Is basically all that I have left. I had to turn off a few machines, and we've got some pretty good throughput, 67 FEs per tick at the current speed. We need to get the power out of here and into Applied Energistics. Before we do just about anything, we're going to need to get some Fluix crystals, and for that we need charged Sturris quartz, and for that we need a charger. Let's put it right down here, planning to get power out of this thing. I want to try to do this without like getting other modded power cables around here. We're just going to see if we can get the power directly into Applied Energistics from the alternator. But in the meantime, we can get our first, I've never used this before. This is brand new in 1.20. The crank is old. You used to use it to like grind up Sturris quartz, I think, a long time ago. And then for a while it went away in a couple versions of Minecraft. But I think if we put this in here and turn this crank, it's going to charge that Sturris quartz really early without, there it goes, without any power at all. You can get your charged Sturris quartz from there. And now with this, with redstone, charged Sturris quartz, and nether quartz, oh, I need to turn off my pulsar. Magnets are the enemy of Applied Energistics. Those are going to turn into Fluix crystals. Now we can automate that. This whole thing, there's a whole process for automating Fluix crystal with annihilation planes and formation planes in a pure AE2 way to do it. And I think we discovered earlier that you can also just do this with a create mixer. But for now, we'll do that manually. We can throw entire stacks in there. But we want to power this thing. I do not want to use that wooden crank anymore. We need to get this thing powered. And for that, we need an energy acceptor, which looks like this. And for that, we need quartz glass, which needs quartz dust. Now, quartz dust we can get by putting Certus quartz crystal in an inscriber. Oh, we can make that now. That's easy to make. Well, let's make one for now. And we'll put that right next to it, right here. With an inscriber, if we put this crystal in there and turn the crank on that, it'll turn the crystal into dust. The inscriber is also how we use these presses. Like we can put a calculation press in here. We do Certus quartz with a calculation press. We can make a calculation circuit, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're not quite ready for that yet. What we need to do is make the energy acceptor. Another way to get dust is by breaking these buds before they are a cluster. So if we have this bud and we break this bud, we're going to get some dust from it. And it doesn't matter how big it is. I think we're just going to get one. And if it's a full cluster, we get Certus quartz like that. Okay, so now we've got enough dust. We can make this quartz glass. Just need 4. Now we have an energy acceptor, and I believe this thing will now take power straight from this alternator and will power our charger. It's powering the charger now. Now we can put Certus quartz in here and it will just charge it up. We can automate this with hoppers. This is new too. You can see in the status in the upper left of the screen how much is stored before it turns it into charged Certus quartz crystal. Let's just do a little bit of automation here and put some hoppers. This set up again. And now if we put some Certus quartz crystals in here. Yeah, there we go. We're getting charged Certus quartz crystals automatically. Perfect. So Certus quartz and Fluix are kind of the basis of our entire AE2 operation. By the way, our ultimate goal here is to get storage, ME storage, and autocrafting. That's where we're headed today. And we can get more Certus quartz from here by breaking just these clusters. That's a bud, that's a full cluster. And again, these two flawless ones are never going to degrade. These damaged ones will degrade. If we break those with Silk Touch, we can fix them, repair them in water with charged Certus quartz. And we can throw entire stacks of these things in here and they'll all turn into the Fluix crystals. Okay, so now to make an accelerator, we need a Fluix block. Got that. Need some more quartz glass. And this glass cable, which is 2 Fluix crystals and a quartz fiber. There's the quartz fiber and 4 Fluix cables. And now we've got an accelerator. Let's put down this growth accelerator. I've been standing around making a bunch of Fluix crystals so I can make Fluix cable, which Fluix cable is the basic kind of data and energy cable. It's going to be right here. There we go. That should hit spot where we want to put the growth accelerator. Now, when we put down a growth accelerator, let's do this over here first. You can see that there's this pink dot on it. You can rotate with a wrench. Any modded wrench will work here. And shift right click, we can pick things up nice and easily. If we put this thing down like this, the dot is going to be on the top and bottom. And that's how we want to put this on here, like this. We want the dot on the bottom because that's where the Fluix cable needs to go in. All right, let's go take a look and see if it's powered. Yes, now you can see that pink dot is pulsating. Oh, we got sparks flying around. And this is going to make the crystals grow much faster. You can see how fast they grow. You can see these other quartz blocks are no longer budding because they're degrading because they're not flawless. That was the issue there. Just stare at these for a moment. Yeah, see, there they go. They're growing much faster. So that's going to help our production. And while I was standing around, I was reminded that we've got another way to get some resources. Let's sleep since we're going to venture out a little bit. Over here, we've got a villager. I've been saving this guy. I think he's still here. I pinned him in. Hey, friend. You know what we're gonna do? We can make an Applied Energistics villager. I think it's a charger. All right. If I break your block, will you turn into a villager? You will. Great. Yes. And now we've got Dan, the Fluix researcher. Let's see what Dan is going to do for us here. All right, Dan. Let's level you up. Oh, we need a compass. That's for a quest. There we go. He's upgraded. Lots of tasks completed now. Yeah, so we can buy Fluix crystals from him, which is much easier than dropping things in water. Inscriber accumulation press. Mega cells? I've not seen that before. And sky steel ingots. Okay, he's a master now, so we don't need that. I'm just gonna grab one of these. I don't know what it is, but that's pretty cool. All right, friend. Now we can buy Fluix crystals from him, and he's right nearby, so that's great. Let's head back down into the basement and take stock of where we're at. So we've got a couple ways to get Fluix crystals now. That villager is definitely the best way if we've got lots of emeralds, which we do. And we've also got a few ways to get Certus quartz dust. We can break those buds before they're all grown up. We can put a Certus quartz crystal into an inscriber. We can also use create for this. Let's drop down a little millstone here and we throw Certus quartz crystal in there. And there we go. We've got a couple more dusts. So those are the building blocks of the Applied Energistics 2 mod. Let's check the quest book because we did a lot of achievements in there and I think we've got lots of rewards from it. Okay, so the compass is the only reason to get a compass is to get the quest because they're so easy to find on a mini map. We got quartz glass. Gonna give us some more quartz glass. That's nice. First meteorite, some more Certus quartz. We made charge Certus quartz. We got all the presses. We got Fluix crystal. We did an accelerator. We did an inscriber, and we made Certus quartz dust. Got the energy acceptor. We need to get some energy storage in place as well. I had quartz fiber. I guess I didn't hold it in my hand. All right, let's make some energy storage. Let's knock a few of these things off quickly. Like a vibration chamber. Okay, there's a vibration chamber. And let's put this down right over, put it right there. I think this will power through the energy acceptor. And now we can burn a bunch of these logs here. The way this works, it burns things very slowly, but it will amp up production. But the slowest it can do is 4 AE per tick. And we can pipe from above or something, whatever fuel we need for that. So that's pretty cool. Let's make an energy cell. This right here, and this is like a battery. Okay, now we can make an energy cell. And let's tuck this right up here. Now this is storing energy. So this will handle any energy spikes that we have. And yeah, this you can see this is cranking up higher to fulfill that. But our alternator is also working hard at it. And while we're on quests, let's get some ender pearl dust. While that's cooking, let's get the quartz fiber. Hold that in our inventory. There we go. We've got that quest. Let's make some skystone dust. All right, let's knock off a few of these quests. Storage, energy storage, quartz fiber. Quartz fiber allows us to connect Fluix cables together without sharing data. So it shares energy, but not data. That's will become clear later on when we start to work on connecting networks together, subnetworks. Okay, we've got some ender dust. Hey, a bunch of pearls, Fluix crystal, skystone. All right, we are cranking along now. All right, next, let's talk about making these processors, which are important for progressing anywhere next in Applied Energistics. And we're going to automate this, kind of make it semi-automatic, the very early way to make these processors very easily. There's 3 types of processors: engineering, which uses diamond; calculation, which uses Certus quartz; and logic processor, which uses gold. So we need 3 inscribers for those. We also need these printed silicon, which is a 4th inscriber, and then we put it all together with a 5th one. So let's talk about inscribers for a second, and let's put the inscriber down right here. If we put a logic press in here, grab some gold, it's going to turn this into a printed logic circuit. And let's just throw a quick furnace down here. And to make silicon, we smelt Certus quartz dust. Let's get some of those going. There's 1 silicon. If we put that in here with the silicon press, We're going to get a printed silicon. And now we put printed silicon in with printed logic and some redstone. And that is going to make a logic processor. That should have given us quest. It did. We can do the same with Certus quartz and diamonds to get the other two types of circuits. Now, to automate this thing, these are kind of finicky as far as putting things in and out of them. You can put a hopper on the top, which will see, it says right here, we can insert from any side in the top, any side, any side. Oh, this has become much simpler. It used to be that you needed to, this could only insert from the top and the bottom, and then this could only extract from sides, front and back. And it got really complicated for automating stuff, and you had to rotate, which you could with a wrench, rotate this thing, and allowing you to strategically place hoppers, but I don't know, that doesn't seem necessary anymore. Also, I'm feeling a little bit bad not sticking with the theme. Let's make a Certus wrench. We can make another quartz wrench or a Certus quartz wrench, which is the same as using a create wrench, but we get a quest completion from it. So we can rotate the machines with this. All right, well, let's try this without doing any rotation and see if we can make a nice, straightforward automation. And let's do that right here. Let's put a barrel and a hopper, and then our final processor creation machine right here. This is going to be fed from this side with silicon, and from this side with the 3 different types of processors. Give ourselves a little platform. And this is going to get the silicon press. This is going to get the logic press, engineering press, which need one in there, and the calculation press. And from here, get a little more space. And barrels. And let's do it like this, not like that, just to make things nice and neat. This is for diamonds. Oh, sorry. This was engineering. Let's move the engineering and calculation presses around. We'll do kind of an order of, there's no order to that. So that's engineering. This is calculation. So that's Certus quartz in this one, gold in this one, redstone in this one, and silicon in this one. And all of these inscribers need to be powered. Okay, we've got power going into the backs of all of these inscribers. They're all online. And now, if we put silicon in here, which are going into here, redstone into this one, redstone will now filter down into here. And let's just make a few logic presses. That's going to press that there. It goes into here. This will now turn these into a logic processor. Perfect. Add in here. We'll just put a few diamonds in here. Watch this all work. There they go. They're going to funnel down into here. Take some time. All right, got calculation processors. And pretty soon, probably when these things start to funnel in, we'll get an engineering processor. Oh, wow, you can stack things in here now. I think these things didn't stack before. Inscribers got a whole lot simpler in Minecraft 1.20, I believe. All right, now we have all the different kinds of processors. Let's grab these two so we get the rewards. Some free Certus quartz, get some free diamonds. Excellent. Did not hold a piece of printed silicon. Get some free printed circuits. Awesome. Let's put these all in here. Silicon in there, silicon up here. All right. All right, where are we going with all this? The point here is to get massive storage. So we're going to set up some basic, very basic storage for Applied Energistics 2. And I just realized that making this Certus quartz wrench, I got a flawless budding Certus quartz block, which I'm kind of reluctant to put this in the video because that's just the sort of thing that gets removed from a mod pack because it's pretty OP. So let's replace this guy with this flawless. And now we've got 3, which are never going to degrade and break. That's amazing. Okay, so what's left here is we need an ME drive and storage cells, item storage cells. There's also fluid storage cells, but this storage cell goes in a drive. The drive is accessed through the network from an ME terminal. So that's where we're headed there. So we should be able to make all these things now that we've got all these logic processors and ingredients. So let's crank out a really quick, basic ME storage network. First we'll make an ME drive. See, these are expensive. Diamonds, engineering processor. And we'll put this down. Let's see, let's tuck this right up here. I'm jamming all this stuff in. I'm going to move it all upstairs and make a nice Applied Energistics building once we've got all the auto crafting taken care of. Okay, the next thing we want to make is a 1K storage cell, which is a 1K storage component. Oh, and we want to make one of these cell housings because that's what the quest book wants us to do. So let's make one of those. We'll hold on to that so we get the quest. And now we can make the 1K storage cell out of those 2 things. Let's look at the quest book and make sure we get here. Oh, I didn't hold the storage component. All right, I'll make a new one. I think we can shift right click. Yeah, we can shift right click with a cell and get its ingredients back. So now we've held that. So if you want to use these storage components later, you can break the storage cells, but it gets messy if there's stuff in them. You know what? Let's make a 1K fluid cell as well. Well, we can put the item and fluid storage cells into the ME drive, which we'll be able to access once we have a terminal. We want to get a crafting terminal ultimately, but we need to start with an ME terminal, which is an illuminated panel. Here's the illuminated panels. And we need these formation cores and annihilation cores. Let's see what the quest gets us in case it's some free ingredients. It's not. All right. ME terminal next, formation core, and an annihilation core. What are we missing? Logic processors. There's a few annihilation cores. Our inventories, our storage is full. ME terminal, got it. I did not hold the formation core. There we go. We're getting a ton of levels from this. So now we've got an ME terminal, which we can now use to access what is stored in these drives. Before we go too far with that, let's turn this into a crafting terminal. And now we can store things in here. Similar to Tom's Simple Storage, we can also store fluids in here, which you cannot do with Tom's Simple Storage. And now we can store water in here. And we can pull it out. And if we look in our drive, we can see that these storage cells are holding items. Now, an important thing to understand about the storage cells is that they hold a lot of items, but they only hold, no matter how big they are, they only hold 63 types of items. And a type of an item is any item that takes up a stack in your inventory. So if you fill this with unstackable things like swords and armor, you're only going to be able to put 63 things inside this storage cell. And you can hold, in fluid, you can hold 18 different types of fluid. And those, 1 bucket of water is holding 9 bytes. So if you can divide 1024 by 9, you can see how much that can hold. So to keep your ME network clean, it's a good idea to not put non-stackable items in here. And there you go. There is a basic, you can see we can store quite a bit of items in here. So we've got hundreds of items. And it's using up very little bytes of that storage cell. So a 1K storage cell is probably a little too small. I like to start with 16K item storage cells. So I'm going to spend some time grinding my way up to some bigger storage cells and move all my items from my Tom's Simple Storage network. Now, before we wrap up, let's just talk about some really simple automation. We'll do that with some Certus quartz. We're already really close to that with our Certus quartz blocks up there producing the crystals. We'll break those automatically and pull them automatically into our network. So let's set that up quickly. But before we can do that, we need to talk about channels. We need some smart cable so we can see what channels we have available to us in our network. We make smart cable with covered cable, which is made with glass cable and wool. And we can just make a few smart cables here. Smart cables and glass cable function the same way, but if we break that there and replace it with smart cable, we can see how many channels are getting used so far in our network. And we can only put up to 8 channels on a run of cable. And what you can see right here with these 2 lines, and in the information in the upper left, we're using 2 out of the 8 channels. Now, there are 2 devices that are using channels. One is the terminal and one is the ME drive. All these other things that we have connected don't use channels. But as we start to make an ME network with ME drives and annihilation planes and import buses, those all use up channels. We can see how by setting up an annihilation plane, we needed an annihilation core. We've made those before. An annihilation plane. An annihilation plane breaks blocks. And the thing is, we can enchant this. So let's quickly go put Fortune 3 on this annihilation plane. For that, we need to go see our villagers. And here we go. Autumn has Fortune 3, and we'll go just enchant this thing. Now we just need to put an annihilation plane right here, facing into one of the Certus quartz. And now we can break this block right here. And you can't see it very well, but that annihilation plane is now pointing up into the bottom of that flawless Certus quartz block right there. Now we can connect it into our network. And it broke crystal as soon as I connected it to the network. You can see it breaking it. As soon as it forms, it's breaking the small bud. And we're getting dust from that. Let's see if we can watch it happen here. There. So you can see right there, it broke that bud as soon as it came out. But that's not exactly what we want, because we want to allow the buds to grow into their full crystal before it breaks it. And so we need to tell this little network right here to only accept Certus quartz crystals. But we're getting dust now, so that's cool. We've got 8 now so far. See, there's the 9th one. We heard that get made. But how can we configure this to get crystals instead of dust? Okay, so we have our annihilation plane getting us Certus quartz dust from the buds on that crystal as soon as they grow, but we want to tell that annihilation plane to wait for a Certus quartz crystal. See, there you go. It's breaking them instantly. To do that, we're going to insert some stuff into the network right here. And we're going to do that with a ME interface and storage bus. And we're going to create a little tiny subnetwork here. This is getting a little advanced, but we're going to put, I'll just show you how to do this. Next time when we're talking more about networks and autocrafting, we'll get into this a little bit more. But an interface is a way to kind of separate networks. It's kind of a bunch of chests that hold fluid and items. And because this interface is right here, it's acting like a buffer chest. But what we want to do is tell this annihilation plane, which is not configurable on its own, to only break when it can get Certus quartz crystal, and it will only break something if it has a place to put it. And so we can use that by putting a storage bus right here on this interface. And now that there's a storage bus in the middle, we can configure the storage bus to only store Certus quartz crystal in this network over here. So this is now a little tiny subnetwork all by itself. It's not connected to the main network because it's got this storage bus and interface in the middle, and it's not even powered. So it's going to not even function anymore. Come up here, we can see that the annihilation plane is even offline. So we want to power it, but not send the data across. And we do that with this fiber. And now this annihilation plane is online because it's getting power, but the data is not progressing across. So we should see a bud form and not break because it has no place to put dust. If we put dust in here, it would break it, but we'll wait to see it turn into a full crystal so it will break and get a full piece of Certus quartz. Actually, it will get multiple pieces of Certus quartz. See, it's just growing up now. We'll wait here and see that break. It's going to break. It'll store it in the interface, which will then put it into the network. And it just did. Grew up. Let's go see if we've got some crystals in our network. We got 4 from that. So now we're getting Certus quartz crystals with this little subnetwork. So this is kind of baby's first subnetwork. Watch that happen again. There it goes. We had 4 before. Now we have 8. Perfect. Oh, there's another one. Now we have 15. We got 7 from that last one. So this Certus quartz crystal is going to come in quickly, and we're never going to have to mine it again. So that's perfect. All right, I think this is a good stopping point. We've probably gone into some advanced stuff here at the end with that subnetwork. If you guys want me to explain subnetworks, channels, and more, I think I will do that in one of the next couple of episodes where we will set up autocrafting. And autocrafting leverages subnetworks as well, makes more efficient use of channels, and then we'll start to see the true power of Applied Energistics. But for now, you've seen we've made a crafting terminal, storage. By the time you see me next, I should have all of my stuff moved over here to the ME network from the Tom Simple Storage Network. All right, I hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, keep up on the series. Join us in the Discord if you want to talk about Prominence II, Applied Energistics, any of the mods we've gone over here. We've got some pretty smart people in our Discord. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you.